With the Pokemon rotation fast approaching, we're about to see a lot of the cards that make up a big part of the format go. However, which of the cards that are getting rotated will we miss the most? Well, fear not, as we put together a list of our top 10 rotated cards from this year's 2025 rotation. But of course, just before we do go into the video, if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more content related to the Pokemon trading card game, then as always, hit that subscribe button and of course, like the video. And without further delay, here is our top 10. Number 10. Lugia V-Star. Lugia V-Star saw a lot of play predominantly for its ability Summoning Star, which was often paired with cards like Archie-Ups to fuel your Pokemon like Cinccino. More recently it added the addition of Regigigas, and is a deck that arguably when set up is the best deck in the format, and one that will surely be missed. Number 9. Radiant Charizard. A very versatile card that hits a lot of damage, and when your opponent is taking quite a few prize cards, Charizard's Combustion Blast could be used at times for a single energy, which would knock out a lot of basic Pokemon in the format. Unfortunately for Charizard, it won't be missed too much, as we have Ursaluna in the format, but nonetheless, a card that will be missed in competitive play, especially given that it only concedes one prize card. Number 8. Trekking Shoes. Any card that allows you to dig deeper into your deck by drawing cards, especially without using a supporter card, is always going to be missed. This card was especially good in decks that relied on getting cards into the discard pile for some sort of benefit, like energy cards with Ceruledge EX, or even ancient box decks like Roaring Moon. Number 7. Pokestop. Much like Trekking Shoes, Pokestop could allow you to dig deeper into your deck by fishing out those item cards without using a supporter card for your turn. If you play Pokegear, you could also hit one of those and then draw into a supporter card if you had a dead hand. Pokestop added a lot of consistency to the format, and could also be used much like Trekking Shoes to get things into the discard pile like energy cards or Pokemon that would benefit your strategy in some way. Number 6. Lost Vacuum. With the concept of Lost Zone getting rotated again for now, this card was very versatile in that it allowed you to remove stadium cards as well as your opponent's tool cards. Even if the Lost Zone wasn't the main concept of your deck, it was still played in most standard decks as a one-off. Number 5. Double Turbo Energy. With so many Pokemon requiring a double colorless energy to attack, and no double colorless energy in the format, Double Turbo Energy will surely be missed. While it had a small drawback of the minus 20 damage, a lot of decks like Terrapagos EX are still able to hit very high numbers. It'll be interesting to see if this card gets reprinted in some way or another in the coming years. Number 4. Canceling Cologne. With decks like Snorlax being very prominent in the format, and safeguarding Pokemon like Mimikyu, it's no surprise that a lot of decks played a one-off copy of Canceling Cologne. Now with it being rotated, it means players will have to find another way to get around those Pokemon that rely on abilities to try and slow you down. Number 3. Rotom V. This card was super good, especially in Stage 2 decks, when Stage 2s came back into the format, as it allowed you to end your turn by drawing 3 cards. Paired with cards like Forest Sealstone, you could also search out that one card that you were desperately looking for, like that rare candy to evolve your Pokemon, not forgetting that both Rotom V and Forest Sealstone were both searchable with Arvin, as you could search it out with a Nespal. It also saw a lot of play in slower decks like Snorlax, since you don't rely on attacking and when knocked out, it would activate cards like your counter catchers, a really consistent card that we will miss for sure. Number 2. Lumineon V. A card that we've seen in many forms over the years. This card added a little bit more consistency to decks when you open up without a supporter card in your hand, as you can simply Ultra Ball for Lumineon V and attempt to dig your way out of a bad situation. While this card will be leaving us, it's again seen so many reprints in different forms over the years that we wouldn't be surprised if this card does come back to us again in the near future, but with a different name. Number 1. Radiant Greninja. A really solid and versatile card, Radiant Greninja saw so much play for its Concealed Cards ability, allowing you to ditch an energy card of any type and draw 2 cards. Additionally, if you were running the right energy or had a means of powering it up, its attack was also really solid, dealing damage to your opponent's bench. Especially when Stage 2s are on the rise, being able to knock out basic Pokemon and stop your opponents evolving could often be game changing. Additionally, with just the 1 retreat cost, it could also act as a pivot, especially with cards like Rescue Board attached to it. And so there you pretty much have it. Those are our top 10 cards from the 2025 rotation that are due to be rotated. With so many cards to choose from, it's likely that there's a card not on this list that you think should have been included, or perhaps you think that there's a different order that they should have been placed in. If so, do leave us a comment in the comment section below. We would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And of course, not forgetting that if you do like this type of content and would like to see some more content related to the Pokemon trading card game, then as always, hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. Thanks very much for watching guys, and we will see you all in the next one.